Hello, friends, and welcome back to This Week in Walt Disney World. I am Sam from Sam's Disney Diary. That is Greg, the blue-haired blogger himself. It is August the 21st, 2024. And always, there is stuff going on in Walt Disney World and Disney parks in general. Greg, what's happening this week?
Sam, my friend, this week we have updates to Peter Pan.
Yeah.
Halloween has come to Disney World while we were away in California. The start of Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. We're going to talk a little bit about villains and some rare spots you can spot some villains at this year. They've updated that. Got over to Animal Kingdom, got the Lion King annual pass. Epcot, food and wine. We are just 8 days from the start of Epcot Food and Wine Festival. And then we just found out that Celebration Encanto, the best show at Disney World, has been extended. So there we go, Sam. That's a show today, my friend.
That's a show. All that and more coming up right after this. Stick around, do us a favor and share. And thank you so much for being here. Go ahead and let us know where you're from. Thanks. All right, Greg, so much happening, so much to go through. Look, I got my latest Disney Files magazine, which comes to the Disney Vacation Club owners. And, there's a cameo on the cover there. Chip or Dell?
That's Chip, obviously.
So I knew that you would know, but, it should be Dell. I'm just saying.
More Dale in this world, and I would be a happier man. Yeah, listen, so I'm going to be facing this way tonight because I watched back last week, and every time I looked this way, which I thought you were at, I was wrong. I was looking away from you. So now I have to look into my...
It's the mirror of your camera is what it is.
It really is. So now I'm looking at this way, talking to you, my friend. What a great week, man. We got over to Disney World. We got over to Magic Kingdom. Spent a little bit of time at Tom Sawyer Island. Spent a little bit of time at Peter Pan. Spent a little bit of time going through riding on the Liberty Bell before she closed down for a day or two.
For previously scheduled maintenance, by the way, the Liberty Bell. But so let me ask you this, sir. When's the last time you were on Tom Sawyer's Island? Exactly. You can't even remember. Exactly. But see what happens when they announce something's going to go away?
I'm going to tackle that for just a smidge, Sam. So bear with me for half a minute. I've realized why they're doing this, and I'm going to give full credit to Lou Mangello from listening to him talk about it. And he brought up a great point. And the simple point is they are building Magic Kingdom for the future. It's for our kids. It's for the next generation of people. So when all this stuff is going on, we as older generation, not too old, but an older generation, we grew up reading Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn and learning about Mark Twain and Samuel Clemens and stuff like that. That's old school, man. Kids are into cars and into
Exactly right.
villains, and
Yep.
I'm all about this. So let's bring it on. And speaking of change, Sam, where are we starting today, my friend?
We're starting right in the Magic Kingdom in that trip that you made, because we're going to talk a little bit about some of the updates that happened to Peter Pan. But before we do that, Mr. Fulton, congratulations on your team getting a bye week. The softball team headed into the States. That's awesome. Best of luck to you in the States for certain.
Yeah, I can't even see chat for some odd reason tonight. I told you if something could go wrong, it was going
wrong for you
you're
tonight.
still doing the show and having a great time, but
yeah, that's right, and that's what it's
disappeared.
all about. So that said, we know that look, Peter Pan Flight is from the 1953 Peter Pan, and there was a scene in that original Peter Pan where the chief is smoking his peace pipe and Tiger Lily and Peter are hanging out, and there was a scene inside of Peter Pan's Flight that depicted that. That has gone through some updates, Greg, and you were really early in breaking this. So what exactly happened here?
So Disney had taken. Oh, look, there's chat. What is going on there, Sam? You just bring me a look.
Sure.
I don't know.
Sure I got
that's
weird
crazy.
things going on.
What is going on, Sam? What are you doing to me?
Things going on tonight.
All weird. I told you. I rubbed on you. It just my luck.
All right, we're back to normal.
Transferred to Pennsylvania from Florida. Peter Pan. Losing all control tonight, man. Yes. Peter Pan. So, simple fact. They changed and updated the Indian or Native American, Native Indian to America tribe scene. They took out the Indian chief or the Native American chief, if you will, and replaced it with what is now animatronics of Tiger Lily and an elder or her grandmom. I like to think it's her grandmom for some reason.
To think that too. I'm not sure. It's been a while since I watched through that, but I'm good with this.
They are now dancing around a scene in a tribal dance because you can see the tribal drum in the background being run by what could possibly be the new chief of the tribe. You pointed out what I didn't even really pay attention to earlier was the teepees in the background, my friend. And you brought up a great point of there's the turtle, there's the bear claw, which everybody knows my fascination with bears in Disney World, and second star to the right, straight on till morning.
Yes, absolutely. And by the way, I love that this is now the harvest celebration is what Disney Imagineering is referring this to. You can see the baskets of bounty that have come from the fields. And that's what they're celebrating here, the harvest.
And they look great, honestly. They really do. The nice thing is the scene did not have a moving animatronic. There was no movement to it. So
just sort of this music. But now there is different music and they're spinning, they're dancing. Is that what's happening?
Dancing, they're having a good time. Listen, I love this. I didn't hear, and this is what I want us, another little diatribe of mine. I didn't hear anybody complaining about this. Disney on their own went ahead and made this change and updated the scene. I don't think it was backlash. I don't think they were following any side. I think they just wanted to update the scene and make it fresh and new, and it does look fresh and new.
Good evening, Charles. Foolish.
Good evening.
I completely agree with you. Love it. No problems with this whatsoever. In fact, I think it's great. It fits right in. It's cool. Tiger Lily needs a little more love. I got no problem with that. Tinkerbell gets all the love, but come on. Tiger Lily should be right there.
Dude,
in plush.
Tiger Lily grew up some, didn't she? Like she's now
from a
little kid to a teenager, and she's now dancing around. But I need to go back and watch. When was the last time you watched Peter Pan?
Wednesday. It's been a long time since I sat and watched the film Peter Pan. Absolutely. A long time.
It made me want to go back and watch this because I don't know. We have a theory in my house that Tinkerbell is the villain in the story.
I would entertain that one night because I have the theory that Darth Vader is in fact the good guy, but that's okay.
He rectifies the situation at the end of the trilogy. I'm with you, man. Darth Vader's not the villain.
Let's move on, because while you and I were at the Ultimate Fan event, Magic Kingdom, Walt Disney World turned into a Halloween paradise, merchandise, parties, all that stuff, and you were all over it. You had these images before we went to the fan event, but it's Halloween time at Walt Disney World. And by the way, it also was at Disneyland, and a lot of this merch was replicated in both places, but that's okay.
Yes. But I want to go to this. I can't bring it up on screen, but Charles brought up, would you ever consider having a Moon Girl cavalcade in DCA or Epcot? I would love Moon Girl to come to Disney World, and I was hoping into Disney Junior. I don't know. I mean, look, you can obviously bring certain Marvel characters over here. She's not an Avenger. I think they need her in DCA, and I would love to see a cavalcade in Hollywood Studios.
Was she not in DCA when that first hit Disney Plus?
Oh, I think she absolutely was. If I'm correct,
it was a limited time thing when that first hit Disney Plus, and I want to say that was this past summer. I might be wrong.
I want to see her in her roller skates with the dinosaur, devil dinosaur, with her just cruising down DCA.
It sounds like a cavalcade to me. So Charles might be on to something there, right?
I'm with you. So Halloween here at Disney World. Look, Halloween takes a month to present itself here, and then once it starts, it goes until October 31st, November 1st. It is a full celebration for 3 or 4 months, and it's great because they keep adding to things. So we always start off with merchandise, and then we start getting the treats, and then we get Mickey's Not So Scary, and then we get Pluto's Pumpkin Pursuit, and then we get the pumpkins that the cast members have carved, and then we get over Grand Floridian, we get more pumpkins. So
all right. So slow down a second. I want to dig into a couple of those things, but Charles is right. The Moon Girl is in Disney Dreams That Soar, the drone show.
She is,
and it was one where I had to go, "Who's that?" And I think it was you that said, "Oh, that's Moon Girl, you dummy." But I get it.
I didn't say dummy. Lamont, you big dummy.
You were thinking it, but that's okay. Go back to the pumpkins in the pumpkin carvings in the resorts, because this is now taking on the same kind of vibe as the Easter egg displays. And I don't know that I have experienced any of those. What resorts are you talking about, and when does that usually happen?
So normally they have over at the Contemporary Resort was always the cast member carving station, and what they do is the cast members from the Grand Floridian all come together, they carve their own pumpkins, and then you get to vote on them, and they are normally on the 4th floor right by the elevators or right before you get to the monorail entrance, and then they're also downstairs right before you get to Steakhouse 71, so you can see them all over,
places and that the Easter eggs would be, right?
Correct. And it's just, I mean, replace the Easter eggs with pumpkins, and they don't last for very long. They're only around for about 5 to 7 days total. And then after,
so they are it's a real pumpkin. This isn't, and the difference with the Easter eggs is they tend to be chocolate. So as long as they're in air
no, these are not real pumpkins. These are chocolate and at least look, I've never stuck my hand into it and been like, oh, that's real pumpkin guts. But it's the same level of artistry. It's the same level of love and creativity that they have for the Easter eggs. It's just pumpkin style, man. So you get a lot of like Nightmare Before Christmas. Mike and Sully will be there. Mickey Mouse, obviously. Whatever was Mickey for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. It's great.
Yeah. Some of the merch that we have on the screen right now, of course, the Spirit jersey, the Mickey ears, the Mickey and Minnie. At first, I wasn't sure what was happening with that plush in the bottom that looks like she's tied up a little bit, but then I realized that was the back of it.
So what we got this year, what I think is really cool is more Minnie Mouse merch. We've gotten a lot of, we always get a lot of Mickey merch, but it's really nice to see Minnie Pumpkin showing up. As you saw on the first slide that you had, was the larger $79.99 molded Minnie
Mouse. When you say larger, those are probably 3 feet tall, 2.5 feet tall.
2.5, 2.5. They're pretty industrial size, man. They're good.
They are.
But yeah, so the top one left, it was a pillow set, like a throw pillow, so you throw on your couch. There's Mickey on one side, Minnie on the other, and they're two separate ones, and they look great. I told Holly there's very few things I want to buy this year, and that was one of them.
Do you have them yet, or are you waiting for it? Well, no.
No, I'm waiting for the sale that happens over at Cast Connections, and
That's what I figured there, or Character Premiere. I understand. I
yep.
understand.
Look, man, when you
Fly at the
live here,
bottom.
you have to figure out how to live here cheaply.
I understand. The lounge fly at the bottom. I do like the Mickey classic tie-dye. I like the Mickey because it's simple. It's a simple Mickey look. It's classic Mickey. It looks like it's from the 80s. That's the Mickey that I know and love. I just like it a lot.
I'm with you, man. I even like the candy corn colors, the simple yellow, orange, white candy corn. Like that to me, growing up in the Northeast, it's candy corn and candy apples, man.
Yeah, I completely agree. The Haunted Mansion. Well, I don't want to say it's Haunted Mansion, but it's a Mickey trick-or-treating into a haunted house that sort of kind of looks like the Haunted Mansion on a sweater. I like that. I have no problem with that.
Skeleton Dance Mansion or rundown house.
That's what it's from. That's why it looks familiar. It looks Disney, but it's clearly not the Haunted Mansion.
You know what they need? Mr. Boogedy. Holly,
Mr.
I
Boogedy?
threw out a Mr. Boogedy reference for you.
Mr. Boogedy.
Yeah. And The Bride of Boogedy. Have you never seen Mr. Boogedy? It's on Disney Plus, man.
I will look it up, dude. I will look it up. Dude. It's on Disney Plus.
What
I'll find it.
Horrible movie. You have to watch it. It's so bad. It's so good.
Oh man. Some more bubble wands, I take it.
Yup. All the good stuff, man. Like there's mugs, there's the candy dishes. Minnie in your top right comes with some candy corn in it. There's your Crocs. The Stitch. They have 3 different main lines this year. So they have Stitch, Nightmare Before Christmas. Oh, sorry, Sanderson Sisters, and the Mickey and Minnie Disney Pals stuff.
I saw this Nightmare Before Christmas merchandise that you had sent. There were some other things as well, including Doom Buggies from the Haunted Mansion Holiday, which of course is the Disneyland attraction. And that's awesome that they're at Disney World. But those are cool. A Doom Buggy with a ghost and Jack, a ghost and Sully, or a ghost and
it's the hitchhiking ghosts with Jack, Sally, and Oogie Boogie.
Yeah. That is really cool.
Those things sold instantly, man. Like I had my hands on them, and I'm surprised I walked out of the stores with them. I thought those were excellent because it was right before we went to D23 when I saw them.
I don't remember seeing those at Land, but I wasn't looking for them either.
I didn't see them at Land. I was looking for different stuff when we were at Land. So down the bottom left is the Mickey Pumpkin Wreath. Now, this is based off of the Mickey Pumpkins that we have down Main Street on all the light poles. And it looks great. And $74.99, right? Not a bad price. But people were eating that up. Like people were going nuts over that. Wow. And it was great because when they released it in Magic Kingdom and they had pallets and pallets and people were taking 2 at a time because that was the limit. And they were selling tons and Disney wasn't running out of them. So I think you can still find them all over Magic Kingdom. I think you can find them all over Disney Springs, pretty much anywhere the Halloween merch is.
That to me, dude, reminds me of something that I'd see at Costco, to be honest with you, in the Disney section. But it's cool.
Yeah, not a bad way.
Not in a bad way. No, I'm not saying that at all, but that's just what it looks like. And by the way, Charles says, oh no, Stitch ate your picture. It's more like Stitch ate your website. I've seen that more often than the eat your picture, right?
Is that what happened to my website today?
Is it good? Everything's good?
Everything's great, man.
Awesome. That's what I want to hear. And by the way, I saw all of this and I was going to ask you, where are the Sanderson sisters? Because it seems like anytime there's Halloween merch, you get Mickey and Minnie in some type of a Halloween getup. You get Jack Skellington, and then boom, you're going to get Hocus Pocus. And this did not disappoint. Hocus Pocus was there. It's just a bunch of Hocus Pocus with Minnie as Winnie, Daisy as Sarah, and Clarabelle Cow.
Yeah, and they are in the parade. So one thing I do want to mention about this is last year, the Sanderson sister was the popcorn bucket out at Disneyland.
Yes.
When we were out there, we didn't see that popcorn bucket, but Sam, I knew you dropped a little bit of money on some popcorn buckets.
Well, or some sipper cups, however you want to call it, right? some sippers.
Yeah.
Being one of them right here. Let me see if I can get this to work because it is cool. Let's see.
It is
Oh
cool.
yeah,
There it is.
that's cool. That I
Make
did.
sure
I
you
did on
double
the
hit that so
Hatbox
the music doesn't play. During Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party this year, there is the Winifred Minnie Mouse sipper that is for sale also, and the longest line is for that sipper this year. So if you're
what
going
was
over
it last
Minnie's,
year that they had? It was a popcorn bucket of what?
it was this Mickey, I think.
That was last year. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
I
think
couldn't
that was
remember.
last year.
Was there a Sanderson?
Oh, no.
The Sanderson
Last year,
sister was in
I'm so
Disneyland
sorry.
last year.
This was 2 years ago. Last
Got it.
year was the car, the mayor's car from Nightmare Before Christmas, which
Okay.
is out of my reach.
But in your house, I do not have that.
But I'm looking at it. It's just out of my reach.
All right. Along those lines, here's some more. Clearly, the Magic Kingdom is ready for Halloween parties. Mickey and the gang are ready for Not So Scary. I wanted to really quickly see how things were going for Not So Scary because we know some dates are sold out. And look, all of August is sold out. The next availability is September the 17th. There's some availability in late September and still some in October. Now, in a full disclosure here, the screenshot that I did for September that lists 139, that's an annual pass holder rate. There were no annual pass holder or discounted tickets in October at all. So the prices for October, which range from $169 to $199, are non-discounted because there are no discounted tickets in October.
So what I thought was great about this was the day before the day of the first party, every party was available except for the 31st and the 9th. So when the party started on the 9th, only 2 days were sold out. Whatever happened during the 9th, people loved what they were seeing coming out of Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. We were in D23, so we were in another world.
Yeah, completely in another world.
The party was getting rave reviews this year. Mickey in his new costume, Minnie in her new costume, all the villains that showed up. They're
Tell me a little about
ghosts.
the villains and what you heard. You're all about characters. You're all about villains. What was going on for this year's party?
Yeah. So let's talk about the big ones. The hitchhiking ghosts are now meet and greet characters and walking around Frontierland. All three of them.
Through Frontierland, not just at the mansion.
Not just at the mansion. They were coming by the Bears, Country Bears the other day. They actually were up top in that little where there's concerts, or they have a DJ above Country Bears once in a while.
Above Country Bears, yes.
They were there. They kind of walk through Frontierland a little bit. So not just over at Haunted Mansion. Some of the cool things is as you're walking in, sometimes you can see Maleficent or the Evil Queen on top of Main Street, USA. On top of the train station as you're walking in. Cruella de Vil is now on a platform in the walkway. When you go down that right-hand side over towards Tomorrowland, she is now meeting and greeting guests over there. And then a secret meet and greet that nobody's talking about, which came out the other day, was if you go into Princess Fairy Tale Hall, it is now Villains Fairy Tale Hall during Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween. And Evil Queen and Maleficent are meeting and greeting over there. That's
awesome. Well, I want to step back a quick second because Charles has a great question, which is Not So Scary is just an evening portion after hours, not the main park. So I think we should probably talk to that because yes, Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party is indeed a separate ticketed event. You can get into the parks at 4 p.m. for the event, which starts at 7, I believe, Greg, and runs until midnight. Is that right?
Yeah, you are allowed to start entering the front gates at 4 p.m. And then the party actually between 6 and 7 is the crossover where they're kind of getting everybody who doesn't have a ticket out of the park.
Don't have a wristband, get out.
Yep. If you don't have a wristband, they're stopping you and they will throw up walls and walk you out. It's a really cool process to watch. 7 p.m. the party officially starts.
I like watching people get kicked out. Is that what you just said?
It's great. Yeah. It's great. You just because you're like, I don't know. There's a Disney thing where you're like, I got my wristband.
Yeah, oh, there is. Yeah, absolutely. Wristbands up. Tell the kids, wristbands up.
I will say this. Prior to the party starting, Jack and Sally start doing their meet and greets early. So you can get in and get in line for Jack and Sally right away at 4 p.m. and you can start meeting them and get one of the longest waits of the evening out of the way.
Right.
And it's great. So party is 7 till 11, 7 till midnight, 7 till midnight, I think it is.
Yeah, I think so too.
And it's, it's Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party.
So
You're paying
here's what it would-
109 to
hearing you talk
169.
Hearing you talk about these new villains and new experiences.
Yeah.
Can you even begin to imagine what Villains Land is going to be like during Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party when that happens in 3, 4, 5 years? I'm already wondering what the concept art looks like, what they're planning, because it might be scary. Not so scary, but scary. It could be, right?
You just blew my mind.
Think about that.
And I'm not even kidding. I had not thought about that. But
All
adding
of those
that
villains
layer,
in Villains Fairy Tale Hall. What do you think's going to be in Villains Land? Holy cow.
dude, imagine they put up Jack on the castle at the castle. So we've been close up to that Jack marionette, right? And it's massive.
During the fireworks, yeah.
Large. I could imagine a Chernabog or something on that scale showing up at Villains Land and blowing our minds. That is going to be crazy good. Imagine if that's where all the princesses had to run to, and that's where you met all the good princesses. That's a great idea.
It is. Charles has another question out here. Let's see if we can answer it. And the question is it the same situation with Christmas stuff at Disneyland? And let me step back for a second. Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party at Walt Disney World is the same thing, but that does not run during the week of Christmas. So there is a separate ticketed event at Disney World. Your question is Disneyland. And I do not believe there is an extra ticketed event at Disneyland for Christmas. There is for Halloween, but not Christmas.
I am not a Disneylander, and I have not been out there during the holidays, and I'm trying to get out there this year during the holidays. So I personally don't know, but I've not heard of we cover the news that comes out of there in their press releases. I've never heard of an extra ticketed event in Disneyland for
only Oogie Boogie Nights, right? Is that what they call it? The Halloween party?
Oogie Boogie Nights, or like a Star Wars night, grad night, princess night, special nights like that. Oogie Boogie is the only party they have that runs for the whole month where it's extra ticketed. As for Christmas and the other holidays around there, I think it's just all part of the ticket, if I'm not mistaken.
There is the Festival of Holidays will be happening during Christmas time. I've been there for that. I've been there Christmas week. It's busy. It's crazy. It's awesome. I mean, that's the way I can put it. The Oogie Boogie Bash. Yes, that is correct. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Holly.
All right. So anything else cool for Halloween that let me ask you this. Do you plan to go to Not So Scary?
Yes, of course. We have to. Just those subtle little changes, you have to get over to the party and you have to go. I have friends that are going almost every night, so I can buy a ticket and join them to go to the party, even though it's sold out.
Right.
There is a way, if you have friends or somebody who's part of your party and they've already bought tickets, normally you can buy one more ticket, add-on ticket to that party if you have already bought tickets. So they kind of hold a little bit of a reserve for adding to your party. But it's not like you can't, I know Tom, he's going. Well, they don't have it linked together. They're not going to do that for you.
Right.
So I'm going to get over, I think on the 9th of September, I'm going over to enjoy the party. Yeah. I'm okay not going out on a hot August night.
I can understand that. All right. Speaking of headed out, let's shift a little bit away from Halloween and head over to Animal Kingdom, because
by the way, before Animal Kingdom, I do want to throw out this.
Yeah.
As Floridians and the Central Florida area, what I will be spending a lot of time doing is going to Halloween Horror Nights over in Universal.
Oh, okay. I have never been.
So we will have a full-on discussion about HHN this year because
I have no problem
they,
with that. I've never been. I'm not a local, so I don't get theirs often. And when I'm there, I'm in a Disney park. That's that's the way that I
yeah,
am. Um, but yeah, I'm definitely interested in talking about that. All right,
yes.
let's head to Animal Kingdom because you made your way back to Dinorama, and it wasn't just to get your last couple of pictures. You had a purpose to get back there.
Yeah, I had the purpose, and I must have gotten really lucky when I got there because I waited 5 minutes tops. So you
Okay,
go in, you go
this
around
is
the
the
back.
annual pass holder magnet, is what we're
Yep,
talking
that's what you're getting. Your annual pass holder magnet. There's a new photo op, and there's a new annual pass holder slushy drink. But there is your new Timon and Pumbaa animal annual pass for this year or for this month. Yeah,
Awesome, love it.
yeah.
I that's there all month. Hopefully, I'll get one when I'm down for Food and Wine
I will
Festival.
say that the lines the last 2 days have been 45 minutes to an hour.
Really? That's
Yeah, it's been
surprising because there's
crazy.
nothing back there. It's not like there's. Is it just because it's Animal Kingdom?
I don't know. It could have been that's so. I mean, let's think about it. Kids went back to school in Florida, so parents don't have many days to get over there, and people with annual
Oh,
passes
I
don't have a
didn't
lot
think
of
that
time.
through. I get it. I
to-
get it. I get it.
So
I
you
get it.
have a certain amount of time to run over there and grab them, and that's kind of what's going on. But if you're a non-pass, or if you're a non-flirting, or if you don't have kids in school, you go in the morning 9 a.m., 10 a.m., and you're gonna rush right in and out of there.
I get it. I get it.
Man,
By the way, a shout out to Tom Johnson, who said that he loves the Easter parades. Thank you so much for watching those and finding them. Greg and I actually watched one live on this show just before Easter, which was really cool to go through. And if you like those Easter parades, check out samsdisneydiary.com/Christmas parade, and you're going to find all the Christmas parades over there, which are even better.
I have a question for you, my friend Sam.
Yes.
Do you have any Halloween parades that are not from Mickey's Not So Scary?
I do not, because there was never a televised special that I'm aware of that was Halloween parades. The Halloween parades that I have are the Boo to You parade, right? Those are the ones that I got.
You have it though, right?
Oh yeah, I have multiple version of it from multiple years. Charles, thanks for swinging by. Thanks so much, and hope we see you next week, same time, same place.
Thank you, Charles. Appreciate it. Sam, we are going to be on the air on October 30th, it looks like. That is
Okay.
our night. We should watch a Boo to You parade.
We absolutely can do that. It would be awesome to watch one live from the park, but that's a whole nother story. But yeah, we should do that.
I am
because
not going to the party on October 30th.
We'll do something for Halloween for sure, because I have some other Halloween things that will be of interest. We'll do something special for that night. We'll start talking about that sooner than later.
Let's do it.
But speaking of things coming up, dude, the Epcot Food and Wine Festival you mentioned before is only 8 days away. You already have the images of the booths that are up, and some of these are looking fabulous, by the way.
A lot of returning booths, but
I'm okay
there's
with that.
also, yeah, there's also some really good new booths that were announced, some new food that was announced. But yeah, going through Epcot starts setting up. This is late, but let me step back for a second. This is late for how we've been doing stuff since the pandemic, right?
Yes.
The festivals were kind of running 24/7 for the last few years.
Well, they were also the taste of Food and Wine, the taste of Flower and Garden. That's all behind us now. This is the Epcot Food and Wine Festival. And not only that, Greg, they've expanded to new areas now because we have things open that weren't opened a year ago. That's awesome.
And it looks, some of the new menus look fabulous. Some of it looks like we're getting back stuff that we've never had before. I do believe, like, look, there's India. I do believe that is the noodle exchange that on the right-hand side, if I remember correctly, which is in World Showcase. We talked to one of the chefs and one of the Imagineers back before Communicore Hall opened up, and they explained to us how they have like 21 food booths or 26 food booths, whatever it is. They're not adding more food booths. What they're trying to do is space them out a little bit to not have bottlenecking of crowds. So we're moving 3 closer towards Communicore Hall.
I
And what do
love
we
that.
find out is we have 3 closer to Communicore Hall.
We do, and they're listed. In fact, I'm going to jump to some of those pictures here because 2 of them are listed as Communicore Hall in Disney's latest blog, Disney Parks blog's latest post. One of them being a macaroni and cheese booth, and I don't know how to say this.
Macatizers.
Macatizers. Okay, it's a combination of appetizers and macaroni. Macatizers. What's on the left? This is traditional macaroni and cheese, cheesecake macaroni and cheese, truffle mac and cheese,
cheese steak, not cheesecake.
Oh, cheese steak. Yes, excuse me. Cheese steak macaroni and cheese with the beef, the peppers, and the onions. And if you're from Philadelphia, I want to know how this sounds. And we'll hold that thought for a second. Truffle mac and cheese and impossible chili mac and cheese. Sounds cool. Now, the reason why I wanted you to hold that, because on the right-hand side, also at Communicore Hall, that is kielbasa and potato pierogies with caramelized onions and also barbecue pork rinds with a pimento cheese dip. Yeah. You know, the pierogies being from Pittsburgh, the cheese steak being from Philly, they're bringing some Pennsylvania down there, Greg.
Dude, represent, man. Both sides of the state on this one.
Yes.
And you know, look, being from Philly, that cheese steak macaroni and cheese with shaved beef, peppers, and onions, I got questions on that because I don't know what kind of it's like. You know, if you're using cheddar on there, I need whiz.
It's got to be whiz.
It's got to be whiz or whiz out. Simple as that, man. Whiz, and I need onions on there, and I don't know. But you know what I'm happy with is seeing the pierogies with the kielbasa.
Yeah.
So we talked beforehand before the show. I figured this out. So it looks like the Macatizers is going to be inside Communicore Hall.
That's pretty cool.
And the other one is going to be Festival Favorites Menu, and that's going to be the outside booth where the Celebration Encanto is going on.
Right. And we kind of knew that because, look, there's a bunch of beer taps there and the possibility of having any type of food. So if they're going to change it with the festivals, that's what we expected. This brings the food all the way up to the front of the park, right? It's pretty far up front. In fact, I was thinking about this last night, Greg. You know, one of the weird things I'm thinking. So when I walk to Epcot, how many steps do I have to take to get to a beer? That was my question, right? And I'm thinking, what's the closest place? And it's that spot in Communicore Hall now.
Yeah, that
or is the Starbucks closer? And
I think no, because I think you have to go on the back side over where Connections Eatery is.
Connections Eatery is where you can get a drink. Yeah,
still closer, my friend. By the way, Patrick, hello, my friend. Thank you for being on here.
Absolutely.
He's going to be coming up next. New things. I mean, he hasn't been around to the park since I'm going to say a certain Star Cruiser closed.
That we got no announcements about, and I'm still bummed about that because how easy would it be for them to make that a dinner show? Another topic. Greg and I will. Greg, we need to do a show about what grinds my gears, and that would be on the list. But anyway.
Dude, how long of a show do you want?
No whiz pepperoni or provolone only?
Provolone, yeah. I'm with her, man. Provolone on a cheesesteak instead of some whiz.
To me, that should be on a meatball hoagie, but that's okay. You want to continue on with this menu?
I'm good with this menu. Kielbasa, sausage, onions, sauerkraut. I mean, sour cream. Yeah, let's go. Yeah,
awesome. Let's head over to
adding sauerkraut would be the mwah.
Yeah. Coastal Eats, you have the warm water lobster tail with garlic butter and jumbo shrimp.
I got to say, speaking of Coastal Eats, I'm just going to throw this out there. You and I, one of the first times we ever hung out was over at an Epcot Food and Wine, and we were trading pictures from different booths, and Coastal Eats was one.
I do recall that. I don't remember who got it. I remember eating the shrimp that you see there, those big shrimps, which, by the way, are almost as big as the lobster tail if you put them next to each other. But
John, welcome in, my friend.
Hey, John, how you doing, man? I'm looking at it, and I eat them, and I'm like, how much did I just pay for each of those shrimp? But anyway.
You paid $12.99. So
for two.
48 point whatever for two.
For one. Working and listening, John. We're glad that you chimed up. The fry basket's back also. Love the fry basket.
Dude, fry basket, and it's got the pickle chips. Oh.
Is it slightly different this year? It
No,
looks like
it's
some
still
of
the
them are the same,
yucca.
but the barbecue bacon fry, did they have
Yep,
that
same.
last year?
Yep, that's the
Okay, the
same one.
sweet
And
potato casserole fries are the bomb, by the way.
so you'll get this. Those barbecue bacon ones taste like Wise barbecue chips.
I think they're great. I really like
Yeah,
them, and I
I'm all
understand
about
exactly
them.
what you're saying.
Get 'em a little extra salty, the bottom of the barrel, scrape all that stuffing. Oh yeah.
All right, move on. One of my favorite places, and that's Eats by Fire. Is that what it's called? I'm blanking on the name of it now. But that's the steakhouse blended burger, beef and wild mushroom slider with truffle brie cheese fondue. Oh, that is the bomb. Love that. Is it Flavors of Fire, Flavors by Fire, something like that? It's over by
Flavors from Fire.
Flavors from Fire. Got it.
Yep.
Got it.
Which
They
looks
also have the
great.
Impossible Montreal style burger slider with cheddar cheese, tomato jam, and a sesame seed bun.
So every year, I want to talk about the Impossible and menu options that are for gluten-free and for stuff. Every year I do a great article because I go through everything and find out what is allergen friendly. I
Yes,
go
it's
through
great.
what is vegan friendly, what is gluten friendly, and I will have that article up. Actually, I'm almost done it now. So probably early Monday, I will have up a dietary restriction menu for Epcot's Food and Wine 2024 presented by Corksicle. Got to get the whole thing out there, man.
The right-hand side, you will recognize the pickle milkshake. This, of course, is from
you
the
can
Brew
keep
Wing
that.
Lab. Now, did you already take some images? The Brew Wing is set and ready to go with the Muppets, or were those from last year? I saw some
So
pictures.
those are from last year. The video I put up was from last year.
Okay.
To be quite honest, Sam, I'm a little worried because it doesn't say Brewing. What was the hold on?
Lab
Let me
featuring the Muppets. That's why I
right.
wanted to ask you.
It
It just
does
says
not
Brew
say
Wing
that. It
Lab.
just says Brewing.
Yes, although some of this looks the same, traditional buffalo wings and cherry and ranch, the peanut butter and jelly sticky wings, the
Yep.
garlic parmesan wings, and the last one, well, there's also an Impossible buffalo chicken tenders. The last
Which are
one,
yummy, by the way.
yeah, they changed the name here on the last one, and I'm going to read this because I can't say it or remember it. The unnecessarily spicy yet extremely tasty Carolina Reaper pepper curry wings with creamy cucumber something. Creamy
And to be
cucumber
quite
sauce.
honest, being experts in hot food and wings, they're pretty good. They're pretty hot, man.
Well, but
They
this is different than last year because it was not Carolina Reaper pepper curry last year. It was an unnecessarily spicy something. It was worded differently last year. It was shorter.
it was much shorter because you could say it in one breath and not have to read off a script.
Right, which I could not say that in one breath, but I will probably try it. It was indeed unnecessarily spicy last year, but that's okay because when the video was playing of Dr. Bunsen Honeydew trying it and Beaker's head kind of smoking, that was cool. I had no
That
problem
was
with
really cool. I like that. Yeah, once you get into the words Carolina Reaper or death or anything like that, I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm good. You know what? I'm good.
It makes me nervous. I might need to share this with someone. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
The last two that I picked here, because of course all of the stations are around. A lot of them are the same: India, Spain, Italy. Very, very similar menus. But the noodle exchange looks really cool.
Yes.
The ramen with shaved beef, shiitake mushrooms, pickled carrots. That one looks good. There's also a ramen with tofu, shiitake mushrooms. That's plant-based option. And the American Adventure, I'm liking this new take on an American classic, the hot dog.
Yeah.
There is a New York style all beef hot dog, which is sauerkraut, onion, tomato sauce, and spicy mustard.
There's grilled New York.
Yep. There's a Chicago style all beef hot dog, tomatoes, dill, pickles, peppers, diced onions, yellow mustard, Chicago green relish, and poppy seed bun. And
I don't hear the words onion powder or powder on there. I know what I'm trying to say.
Yes. Also a Carolina style dog with chili, coleslaw, yellow mustard.
Love me a Carolina dog.
West style hot dog, which is wrapped in bacon with warm pinto beans, tomatoes, jalapenos, avocados. Dude, I like this take on American adventure being these different hot dogs from different regions of the U.S. I love it. And John, Chicago dog is the bomb.
I
I'm from Pittsburgh, and they told me never put ketchup on it. So
what's great is I actually mentioned this to Holly the other day while I was writing this up. I was like, I love the American adventure menu this year. I
I do
love
too.
having hot dogs, and I love that they're different and they're not normal. And man, you give me a Sparrow or not a Sparrow, Sabrat hot dog vending cart with some sauerkraut on a roll with some spicy mustard. I will destroy 5 or 6 of those in a row.
These don't look to be a full size, right?
Yeah.
This is going to be a great booth. John, you are absolutely correct, and I can't wait to
Can I
check
mention one other food that we did not discuss?
Yes,
but I
please.
need to discuss this.
Let's do it.
Over at the Italy menu, have you seen this? The Italian style nachos with homemade beef ragout, pasta chips, tomato sauce, and dried ricotta.
I don't know, man. Leave the nachos in Mexico.
I think we have to try this together.
I'll
Sam.
try it, but look, my thing is leave the nachos in Mexico and let's get some fried polenta with some really nice dip, and that I would love to see in Italy. But
how about just a good pizza? Give me a calzone. Give me a good calzone.
I had a really good one a couple nights ago, but that's a whole nother story.
Oh, don't even.
I did. It was a good calzone.
Yeah, I haven't had one of those since I moved.
Yeah, it was a good one.
Yeah.
All right, so after you're done with all those hot dog grades, you know what we need to do? Maybe you need to do, and that's get into a Run Disney marathon. What do you think,
Sam? There's 2 things I run for. One is away from a bear, and the other one is to a buffet.
But look at
all I run for, my friend.
Disney previewed the medals and I wanted to bring this up because people love these medals. They do these races for the bling. It costs a lot of money to do these races, and one of the reasons they do it is to get that medal, that bling. And the 5K Pluto looks wonderful. That's one that I could potentially do. It's the only one that I would potentially.
If you do Run Disney, and I'm proud of you for doing Run Disney. I really am.
Oh yeah.
But explain it to me sometimes, people. Just explain to me, like, especially the recent one where we had like the virtual 5K snack run, where it's like all of it had to do with snacks, but you're running to or from the snacks. I don't understand.
You're clearly running to them. Running to them. That's what I would say. But this is one I could do, the Pluto 5K.
I bet you both of us could do a 10K and maybe a half marathon at a good pace because of, like, look, we were at Disneyland and did D23. I think one of the days I put on 16 miles walking.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, that's Disneyland.
I do a 10K.
That includes, by the way, walking from the hotel to the park, which is 3/4 of a mile there and back. So you got 1.5 miles before you even touch foot in the parks.
I think I could do a 10K without exercising.
There you go. So the 5K looks good. My only problem with these, and the reason I've never done one, Greg, is when I'm in Florida, it's limited time. I am in the parks as much as I can be. I really don't want to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning to get on a bus to go to the starting
4
line.
o'clock in the morning? No. It starts at 5. You need to be up at 2 a.m. and on a bus by 3.
That's why. Anyway, let's move on to look at some of the other bling here. The 10K is Chip and Dale.
More Dale.
Yeah. He's got the 10. Yeah, go Dale. Go Dale. The half marathon is Donald and Daisy.
I like that with the Epcot. It looks like behind them with a Spaceship Earth.
Yeah, it does on the medal. It absolutely looks like Epcot. Love that.
Yeah.
Love that. The behind Donald and Daisy. Then you have Mickey and Minnie for the marathon and the Goofy Challenge, which the Goofy Challenge, you have to, it's the 20th anniversary of the Goofy race, by the way.
It is
39.3 miles. And that is if you do the half and the full. Is that right? I think it's, I don't know if you have to do all 4 races, but I know you have to do races get you the dopey.
Oh, okay. So the half and the full give you dopey.
Yes, that's everything. That's 48.6 miles. That's doing the 5K, the 10K, the half, and the full. That's the dopey challenge.
You know what? Well named.
Yes, yes. And this one flips open. It's one heck of a medal. And
it's beautiful because I would love to have them on my walls. But I have a personal thing against the runners at Disney, and it's the personal thing. I wish you well. Explain it to me though at some point. I'm open-minded. I will listen to why you do this and see if I've changed my mind. Seriously.
If I live there, I may do it. All right. We talked about Halloween. We got about 9 minutes left. Let's jump in to Christmas and the holiday season, and more specifically, Jollywood Nights, which is back for the second year. And we got some merch announced for Jollywood Nights.
Dude, Sam, can I wear my outfit like I did last year? Or do I need an updated outfit?
Well, I don't know. With these new outfits, Ollie, the mascot that we were introduced to last year, he is showing up on a lot of merchandise this year.
A lot of merch. What I loved about what Disney put out was they mentioned the merchandise, like obviously, was very important. But then they talked about the creation of Ollie, and they kind of put that out on Front Street. We happened to be in the room with the Imagineers last year and listened to them explain the story of developing Ollie. And he was the first new Walt Disney World exclusive park character they have made since Figment.
Yes.
And so coming up with a new character was really important to them. They put a lot of love and energy into him. And then we kind of didn't really see him very much except for 2 photo shoots last year.
Yes. So, and the photo shoots weren't with the costume character. It was with a backdrop. It was
with backdrop.
Yes. It wasn't like he was walking around.
Yeah. But now we need him walking around.
And maybe that's coming. I mean, it looks like there's much more merch. There's the Spirit jersey, some other jerseys. There's also one of those, I forget what they call those little bags.
What was it last year? We got a pin and we got the t-shirt.
We got a pin and there was a t-shirt last year. So clearly much more merchandise this year. There is a different t-shirt, all dated 2024. Jollywood Nights. I'm not sure what they call that bag on the right there, Greg.
That is a lug bag.
That's a lug bag. It looks like it's a cell phone case, if you ask me. There also is a pin and the Jollywood Nights Happy Ollie Days 2024.
Happy Ollie Days. Come on, Disney. I love that. Like every once in a while, Disney does a cheese thing, and I love that mug, and I will be buying that mug. Holly, I will be buying that mug at Jollywood Nights opening night.
Because you need another mug.
No, I need more Ollie in my life.
Oh, okay.
Dude, I loved Ollie last year. I was literally upset when they were like, we don't have a meet and greet.
There was not a lot of him. Like you said, it was just a backdrop, and it was at the front. And because we were in the park before this hard ticketed event, much like the Christmas party at Hollywood Studios, it's coming back this year. I've not seen details on new returning entertainment or new entertainment. I'm sure it's right around the corner. We'll start to see.
You need to go back and read the articles because trust me, there's some amazing entertainment and characters coming back. Not only that, but they have added ice skating to Hollywood Boulevard.
Oh, I did see that.
I know. The party has been updated. They have learned from the mistakes of the opening 2 nights last year. They finished out the party strong last year. We had people who went to the last few nights and closed it out and said it had changed drastically from opening night.
Well, that's
and now it looks like 2024, year 2 of this, which we were all hoping it would come back, and they came back stronger. And it looks like this is going to be a rival, an adult version of Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party.
And when you say adult version, I mean Ollie he's playing the saxophone. It's jazz. It's laid back. It's not Mickey's not in your face, although he is there and he's in a great costume. It is a more laid back. Get a drink, get some food.
There's time for adults. It's a perfect date night. Look, you can go have a adult beverage while walking around Hollywood studios, enjoying the festivities, watching the stage shows are some of the best Disney puts out every
Yes.
year. Um,
Yes, they were.
that Muppets Hollywood extravaganza in the
Was
Beauty and the
great.
Beast theater is spectacular.
And Jack Skellington in the Frozen theater was amazing.
Beautiful. It's beautiful. It's wonderfully done. Even going and seeing like the live jazz bands play down at
Yeah.
by Tower Terror,
Yep.
going in and watching the jazz piano player, going in and seeing the Latino heritage area. It's all excellent. It's a great party. I can't wait for this year. I can't wait for, and I think a friend of ours, a friend of ours both, but Holly was talking with Michelle from the Main Street Mouse, and
Of
they
course.
kind of were going back and forth about they wished it was the holidays already because they're ready for pine scents and trees and lights and
We
decoration
got
and
a lot of pumpkin
spirit.
spice to get through first, baby. We got lots of pumpkin spice to get through.
Yeah, we do. I'm done Halloween and then we haven't even started. That's the problem living at Disney. You're like, next.
Yeah, and here's the thing, dude. It's August the 21st, and we're talking about Halloween being in full swing. Not going to start soon, but in full swing. Multiple parties behind us already happened. It is Halloween.
So speaking of next week, are you home on Wednesday night? Are you down here on Wednesday night?
I am
Because
home
Thursday,
Wednesday night. I'm headed down Thursday. I'm home Wednesday night. So I will absolutely be able to do this, and we'll talk about game planning it for the opening weekend of the Food and Wine Festival, including the Eat to the Beat concert series. We'll go through that. We'll go through some of the other new things happening. I'm interested, as always, in the new entertainment that shows up in Canada and shows up in Germany. The summertime stuff is behind us now. It's time for the Eat to the Beat and the fall festivals, which will lead us right into Festival of the Holidays, of course. So
yeah, and I got to go get ready to take the wife to Joey Fatone and friends, my friend. And friends.
All 3 nights? All 3 nights, of course.
3, 4 nights, doesn't matter. We're going every single night because that's what they love, and that's what we're gonna do. Yeah, I can't wait to talk I want to talk next week to see what bands you're interested in. See which ones you want to see. What I noticed this year, there's a brand new album coming out, the new Disney Sound, which has some of the bands. I wish I could tell you what the bands are all of a sudden, but it's like a punk rock
take on Disney classics, right?
Yeah, and Newfound Glory, stuff like that. A lot of those bands are playing Eat to the Beat. So they've updated. I thought that was interesting that this album's coming out. But if you look at Eat to the Beat, a lot of those bands are playing Eat to the Beat.
I'm going to guess those bands will be playing whatever tune they recorded for that album.
I would imagine so.
I hope so, because that would be the best.
You are way too excited about those bands.
And I'm sure you can get the album right there at the American Adventure.
Yeah, Simple Plan, bands like that, which we just saw Simple Plan was playing D23. Did you catch their concert?
I caught pieces of it. I did not sit there for the entire thing, but it was happening back by the D23 Lounge. So, Greg, I actually went to get my pin at the D23 Gold Member Lounge when they were playing. And there was no line to get the pin because everybody was watching the show. So it was perfect for me.
I know. It was packed over there, man. Those guys still pack them in. Good. It's great. Like, I love Disney's updating, bringing in a new generation. And yeah, I mean, look, my eldest just said it's right up his alley. So, and he's right. Awesome. That is his music.
Yep. I also see in the comments, Greg, that you're going to be going to both Christmas parties, my friend.
Yes, of course. Don't we all always go to both? You got to go to the Halloween party, both Christmas parties, Festival of the Holidays. Look, I am so excited about the next 5 years here at Walt Disney World. And I'm so excited about what we got going on here, Sam. Between Sam's Disney Diary and your Sam's Disney Daily on Instagram and Sam's Disney Diary on YouTube, where you can watch all these videos at here at fantasylandnews.com and Fantasyland News Blog and our YouTube. Everything is great. We have a great 5-year plan. We're
Right.
excited about doing this. We have so much new and great things coming up, a lot to talk about. We have something for every week. Disney World is constantly changing, and we appreciate every single person watching out there, and we appreciate everybody. Sam, anything else you got to add?
All I have to add is we will see you again next week. Same place, same channel, whatever you're watching, whether it's Fantasyland News on YouTube, Sam's Disney Diary on YouTube, or on Facebook. It doesn't matter. Thank you for being here and commenting and helping us with our obsessions with all things Disney. Greg, the Bluehead Blogger, thank you. We'll see you next week, August 28th, 2024, 9 p.m. East Coast Mickey time. We'll be here. Until then, Congaloosh.